item, which is 10:30 a.m. Public hearing, consideration of resolution amending the master fee schedule for departmental services rendered by the county. And you have Casey coming up. All right, Casey.
Good morning.
Morning.
Casey Moreno, Deputy County Administrative Officer. So today before your board is an update to the master fee schedule. Most of the fees are updating by the CPI, which this year is 2.69%. Fees that are not updated by CPI are either updated by government code or by a fee study. So the master fee schedule is updated annually with additional updates throughout the year as needed, and all fees that are collected by the county are listed on the master fee schedule. So Animal Care and Control is the first department. They are requesting a reorganization of the structure of fees and updating the way adoption fees are classified. The Auditor Controller County Clerk is requesting changes to match government codes, as well as completed a fee study for a couple of their fee increases. Sheriff's Department completed a fee study to justify the CCW fee increase. Environmental Health is requesting the tobacco retail license fees be added per Ordinance 3141, Section 9-128A and Section 9-129. The license fee was calculated through a fee study. Public Health is requesting ambulance permit fees be added per Ordinance 3147, Resolution 95-218. And lastly, Building and Safety, Code Enforcement Planning Department, Public Services, Public Works, and Water Resources are all requesting CPI increases.
All right. Any questions? Supervisor Owen.
Okay. I had seen that pretty much everything went up. My concern is in animal control, the fees went, like, for instance, adopting a cat went from $20 to $60.
Yeah.
And adopting a dog went from $30 to $120. And I'm just concerned that that big of an increase when we already have trouble getting these animals adopted is going to be a deterrent.
So from my understanding, they are simplifying their adoption fees, so it's not based on the, I believe it's the weight of the dog. Yeah, the weight of the dog, and so now it's just one set fee, but the department may have further information, and they should be available either online or in person.
Okay, are they online?
I don't know.
So while we're waiting for them, so how they've crossed off the neutering from 40 pounds, under 40 pounds, 30 to 60 pounds, those have been basically crossed off, and it's just been averaged out to 120 maybe?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, okay, so before they were charging for the dog, the $30 plus the neutering fee? Is that what it was?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Here
Now
goes
it's just
some.
the average.
All right.
I mean,
Looks like we have a director online.
because I didn't see that explanation in there, so.
Yes, so it is basically a simplified process at this point. Where before it was all itemized, so it would charge for the microchip, charge for the spay. It's just been averaged out to one kind of overall fee instead of being kind of itemized out. So it's basically simplifying the same thing that we had before.
Okay, so because I'd still seen those itemized lists in there for neutering, for, the vaccinations, et cetera, but I didn't realize that this was all in one lump sum and that before you charged for each of them because they were still itemized out. So the itemized list that you have in there, is that for people that come in that want to get just those things done?
So the itemized list should be in there, but should not, and has a price, as those things could be done if we did open services for the community and kind of what those prices would be for the community. But and those things are still there to show what's kind of included in an adoption. All these things will be done and things you can guarantee will be done when you do an adoption, but it shouldn't have the price. The price is not attached to it anymore.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That explains that. I have a few more areas. Auditor Controller, that went up from, the budget book, went from $27 to $75.
Yes, so that was a fee study that was completed, and we do have a copy of it in our office. And so the price went up due to cost of materials to have those books done.
That was just such a big jump.
It is, yeah.
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 let me see. I noticed that I thought, I didn't quite understand this, on the subdivision planning, it went up significantly. I didn't put down the total fees. I'm worried about the fee increases in in the planning department. It seems every line pretty much went up and increased. What's that going to do to the bottom line on that? How much is it going to increase the cost of a permit to, say, build a house?
Thank you. Mireya Turner, Community Development Director. The building permits went up according to CPI only. That's the least incremental increase we could request. So the subdivision, which is in planning, is not the building fee. Planning also went up at the least
Saw that,
amount
yes.
available. Yeah.
Okay.
So overall, we do acknowledge that development costs are increasing, but we are also trying to maintain the lowest possible request for an increase in order to ensure continuation of services without discouraging or inhibiting development.
Okay. Like I said, I was just kind of worried about we're trying to stimulate the development a little bit. So I don't know what percentage does the building fees, what percentage approximately will that go up, the total cost?
It's going up according to the CPI.
Which is
2.69%.
2.69.
Yes.
Thank you.
If it helps, I would also like to just point out a couple things that community development is doing in order to increase efficiency and stretch those dollars. With our OpenGov system, our electronic permitting system, it does assist the public with answering their questions that might otherwise be taking our counter staff to answer. Like, let's say you're wondering about if there's a permit next door, you're able to go on that public portal and find out for yourself. Or you're also able to go online and find out the status of your permit as it is in process. Both of those add to decreasing the amount of time required of our counter staff so they can be doing other things. As well as in the Lake County 2050 General Plan Update and the Housing Action Implementation Plan, we are enumerating and identifying a number of governmental obstacles that we can continue to work on to reduce that will encourage further development by making it easier.
That's what I was in hopes for. We've had conversations in the past about that, you and I. So, okay, so do you think that the new system we installed will actually kind of help reduce the cost a little bit because of the time that it's saving?
I believe that the time it is saving will be more used towards handling other tasks that would take longer.
Okay.
So it's more of increasing the efficiency of operations internally. I don't see the cost of the permit going down.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks.
Supervisor Sabatier?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I think we got an email as well, or a public comment regarding some of the new fees. There's ambulance permits and there's tobacco. Those didn't exist before. I know when we created fees for, I think it was the hemp fees, that you have to kind of look at other similar fees to get an idea of what the cost would be. There should be an anticipation for next year or the following year to give it time to study what actually occurred, how many hours it does take to see if there's going to be an increase or a decrease, that these numbers aren't just picked out of thin air. We try to find something that's as similar and as close to that same type of process to figure out what the cost would be. So just wanted to at least explain that, and I'm getting a nod, so that's thank you for agreeing with that. I am also concerned about all of the increases. They're not huge increases for this year since it's only 2.69 at this moment in time. However, it impacts what already is a fairly dismal amount of folks that are trying to develop housing, for example, is my biggest concern. Last report we had, we were in the, I think we may have just hit 2 digits of number of homes that were built for a year, and I'd like to figure out what we can do to incentivize it. So I'm going to work and have a conversation with our CAO of where we are with our housing process, because it would be really nice to take a look at what the fees and the cost is, because I can't make it pencil out, and I think that's why we're not seeing things happening. We're going to have to figure out how to incentivize it, and this is not incentivizing it, but I also don't want to put a wrench in something that's only going to make us lose money on the other end. In the planning or in the building one, I do have a request to make a change. It's not a cost change or any dollar sign change, but there's a link to the ICC Safe website for a building valuation data, and that's wonderful if you're a member of the ICC, but you cannot find out what that information is if you just go to that website, and you have to pay to be a member. And I think that we should probably make that table more public, because I have no idea what I'm in for if I want to build a house and I'm not a member of the ICC. We should be more transparent on that, because underneath it says valuation amount multiplied. Well, I don't know what the valuation amount is because of that website. So I think that I would like to see that updated maybe around the time that we come back with our budget, whether that's final budget or primary budget, just to at least show the update, because I don't think that a layman who is not highly involved in the trade would not be able to access that and understand what the true cost of building a home is.
Did you?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right. Anyone from the public? All right. Bring it back to the board. Any other final comments? Did you have anything else? No? Supervisor Sabatier?
Just curious if there could be consensus from the board for the change for the website address that leads to no information whatsoever.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Didn't want to direct somebody to do something without the
I can do
consensus.
that, yeah. All right.
Nothing else, I'll offer the resolution.
Resolution has been offered.
And-
What, 1 second.
Mr. Chair,
Boyd?
thank you. Just for clarification, would that proposed change result in the amendment then, or such that the resolution which,
At this moment, there's nothing to change it with. The request was to bring it back.
okay.
All right. So the resolution's been offered?
Supervisor Owen,
Aye.
Supervisor Sabatier,
Aye.
Supervisor Rasmussen,
Aye.
Supervisor Pyska,
Yes.
and Supervisor Crandall.
Yes. All right. Resolution passes 500.
Thank you.
Thank you for articulating that.